You grew up in a very small town in Haryana.
महिलाओं और पुरुषों का जो जेंडर बायस था ना, वो मैंने बहुत एक्सपीरियंस किया. My whole family was against it and they thought, oh no, an actress, are you crazy? Girls from good families don't become actresses. Who's going to marry you? You're going to be damaged goods. I think the patriarchal setup uses shame to control us. People who think that I am irrelevant, I think their thinking is irrelevant. वो मेरा जिक्र अभी चीख चीख कर रहे हैं. Malika's comeback before GTA 6. मैं थी, मैं हूँ और मैं रहूँगी. I achieved superstardom with murder. Overnight, I feel like I became a fallen woman with no morals.
Was there ever a doubt that should I do these scenes or should I not do these scenes during murder?
सबको लगता है कि लाइफ एक्ट्रेसेस की बहुत ग्लैमरस. The reality is कि हम लोग ग्लैमर बेचते हैं. In reality, when you're on set working, it's मजदूरी. Some actresses would be condescending towards me and they would say mean things to me on my face. But I was perceived like an object only. उस वक्त का दौर मेरे लिए तैयार नहीं. आज का जो दौर है, अब जाके वहाँ पहुँचा है जहाँ मैं 2004 में खड़ी. डंके की चोट पे कहा था कि we've used erotica for box office. I did a few music videos, one with Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
Jackie Chan really helped me.
Yeah.
After doing murder and all those bold scenes, which man is going to get married to me? ये podcast के through, this is a message. कोई दूल्हा एलिजिबल बैचलर हो तो आई एम सिंगल एंड आई एम रेडी टू मिंगल. जिसने भी बॉलीवुड में लंबी इनिंग्स खेली है ना, इतने उतार चढ़ाव आते हैं. लोग एक वीकेंड सर्वाइव नहीं कर सकते बॉलीवुड में. टॉक्सिक ब्यूटी इंडस्ट्री टुडे, राइट? सो मेनी यंग गर्ल्स आर आल्सो गेटिंग बोटॉक्स एंड फिलर्स. आई मीन, अगर आपका चेहरा ही फ्रीज हो जाएगा तो आप एक्सप्रेशंस कैसे देंगे? द होल जॉब ऑफ एन एक्टर इज टू इमोट. आई कैन एक्साइट, आई कैन प्रोवोक एंड आई कैन एंटरटेन.
Welcome to Humans of Bombay, Malika. It's so lovely to be here with you.
Thank you for having me. I was really looking forward to doing your podcast and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, and so many questions because, you know, I've seen you do so much work and followed your journey closely. So I'm excited to go very deep into what made you today. So thank you for doing this.
Great.
So let's start from the beginning, right?
Right.
They say that so much of who we are as adults is shaped through our childhood and what we kind of exposed to while growing up.
Right.
You grew up in a very small town
Right.
in Haryana,
Right.
and from there to here, the journey is obviously fascinating. But talk to me a little bit about your childhood.
So I had a great childhood. I had a very happy childhood. We were shuttling between Haryana and Delhi. So while I had a great and a privileged childhood, लेकिन जो सोच थी ना, वो बहुत regressive थी महिलाओं के प्रति. For women, it was like there were a lot of restrictions on going here, going there, wearing this and that. So I feel कि, and at that time also I used to feel कि अरे क्या मेरे भाई पे तो कोई restrictions नहीं है. मेरे पे क्यों इतनी रिस्ट्रिक्शंस हैं? जो महिलाओं और पुरुषों का जो जेंडर बायस था ना, वो मैंने बहुत एक्सपीरियंस किया. बट आई वॉज अ चाइल्ड एट द टाइम एंड आई डिडंट रियली realize. I just thought at the time maybe this is how the world is. But I didn't realize that subconsciously it was really, really affecting me. But for my family and for people around me, it was a very normal thing. You know, that purush jo hai wo superior hai. It was a very, very patriarchal kind of a setup and nothing wrong with it. I mean, I'm not judging it because this is how my family grew up. This kind of thought, this is what they were exposed to.
From generations.
From generations, yeah. Right? And they repeated the same pattern with me. So initially, I used to have a lot of angst about it. But then over the time, once when you realize that this is not, it's everywhere. It's prevalent in the entire country. And it's really up to us now to get out of it and break it. See, पुरुषों ने जो महिलाओं के साथ किया है, that is a separate thing. But I feel कि महिलाओं ने जो अपने साथ जुल्म किया है, खुद के साथ, वो उस पे अपने आप को उस patriarchal सोच के खूंटे से जो बांध के रखा है, and the door is shut from inside, अंदर से दरवाजा बंद कर दिया है. I feel that is the biggest tragedy, and I myself was like that. And it took me a lot of time, it took a lot of work to really get over that.
So when were you exposed to a new way of thinking, right? ये जो सोच बदल गई,
जी.
कब हुआ?
So I majored in philosophy. I did philosophy.
In Delhi University.
Yeah, in Delhi University from Miranda House. And while I was doing philosophy, so luckily very early on, I was introduced to great philosophers like Vivekananda. I was introduced to Yogananda. So because I was introduced to them, it made me think, because I was studying philosophy, and it really made me think. Because Yogananda says, don't let your life play out in the ordinary way. Make a dent in the universe. That really struck me. I'm like, one of the greatest philosophers on the planet is saying, make a dent in the universe, do something with your life. So I'm not going to waste it. And I think from there on, it sort of, but it was Yogananda's book and that quote that sort of my journey began.
And triggered that.
And triggered
shift.
that, yes.
Okay, so college के बाद, what was your ambition? कि मैं क्या करूँगी?
You know, I always wanted to be an actress.
Really?
I loved acting.
Okay.
I just loved the whole feel of it. And but of course, nobody encouraged me. My whole family was against it, and they thought, "Oh no! An actress? Are you crazy? Girls from good families don't become actresses."
Yeah.
And the only question was, who's going to marry you? You're going to be damaged goods.
Yeah.
You're not going to be marriage material. So ऐसी बातें मुझे regularly सुनने को मिलती थी. And then one day I just got fed up and I packed my bags and I just left.
You left Delhi?
I left home. And I came to Bombay, and that is when the real life began. Yeah.
So how did you? What were the initial days in Bombay like?
Oh my God, I loved it.
Really?
You know, also when you are so young, you're in your early 20s. You're naive and you think you can conquer the world.
Yeah.
And I used to have these ideas. Oh, Yogananda is saying we can conquer the world. So I can conquer the world. But I was just so happy to be out of that environment. And freedom, it was the first taste of freedom for me. I really, really enjoyed being in Bombay. It was a hole in a wall apartment, but it was my apartment.
Yeah. That first one's always special.
Always special.
Yeah. And how were you balancing this? कि ये जो excitement है बॉम्बे का, I'm new in the city, I'm living by myself, I'm experiencing freedom. But on the other hand, ये जो dichotomy है, right? कि the family is not happy with the choice. You had to leave home.
Right.
So how were you balancing those emotions?
You know, initially I used to feel very guilty about it, but then I realized, no. See, women, I feel all over the planet, since we are born, we are conditioned. And we are conditioned through shame. I think the patriarchal setup uses shame to control us. Don't have an opinion. If you have an opinion, they shame you. Mothers are always telling you, ज़्यादा मत बोलो, लड़कियाँ ज़्यादा बोलती अच्छी नहीं लगती. You know, don't wear this, you can't wear this, be a proper girl, be a lady. So ये सब चीज़ें ना इतनी subconscious में चली जाती हैं महिलाओं के. And of course, I was no different. So I used to feel a lot of guilt, but not anymore. You know, I started working. I did an ad with Amitabh Bachchan for BPL. Then I did for Santro with Shah Rukh Khan. Such good work was happening, and that thrill, you know, I can't even explain to you when you get your first paycheck. That thrill that
this is my money,
and you've done something with yourself.
Yeah. What was the reaction when your ads came out?
I was elated. More than the ads, I was elated that I could take care of myself. I could pay my own bills. You see, I always tell young girls who meet me that it's not your father's money.
Yeah.
It's not your husband's money. It's your money. The day you have control over your purse, over your money, you can lead your life the way you want to.
Yes. Financial independence is
very important.
Absolute.
Otherwise, everybody will tell you how to lead your life.
Yeah.
So then don't complain later on.
Yeah, because I've always said this also, that financial control, financial dependence is the largest form of control that anybody can have over you, right? Because then you have to ask, and you don't have the freedom to make your choices.
But patriarchy keeps you under control, right? This is one of the ways to keeping you under control. They make us feel ashamed about even working. That regressive sort of patriarchal mentality. I remember listening to this all the time growing up. Girls from good families don't work. This also I'm talking, 20 years ago. 25 years ago. No need to work. And things like that.
What was the reaction of your family or relatives or people from where you come when they saw your ads on screen for the first time?
They didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
They absolutely didn't like it. एंड इट्स वेरी ट्रैजिक. सपोर्ट की तो बात बहुत दूर है, वो मेरे पेरेंट्स को फिंगर भी करते थे, ताने भी मारते थे. देख तेरी लड़की टीवी पे आ रही है, क्या कर रही है, stuff like that. So that really affected my poor parents a lot. It really did.
Feeling stuck? Like there's more you want from life, but you just can't find the time to focus on you. You're not alone. And that's why I'm inviting you to Realign Live. On November 10th, we're hosting a full-day immersive experience in Mumbai, designed to help you reset, realign, and reconnect with your inner self. We have over 12 experts who will guide you in your personal growth journey through workshops like Tai Chi, sound healing, ecstatic dancing, and so much more. If you're serious about taking the steps towards changing your life, now is the time. Tickets are limited, so don't wait. Grab yours today by clicking the link below or here in the pop-up box. And now, let's get back to the podcast. You've taken your mother's maiden name, which
Yes.
is Shirawat.
Yes.
So, because you've said time and again that she really supported you, and
Right.
she kind of was that person in your life who you wanted to integrate even on a name level.
Right.
So, what was the conversation like at that time with your immediate family?
I took my mother's name because I was very close to my nani. I just love her. She's passed now. And I just wanted to honor her.
Yeah.
And I was like, कि किसने rule बनाया है कि सिर्फ father का नाम ही लेना चाहिए? You know, I'll take my nani's name. You know, I'll take my mother's name.
Yeah.
So that was also one of the major contributing factor to take the name.
And so sweet.
Thank
also.
you.
So, when you got the big break for films
Right.
from ads,
Huh.
how was that for you? And did you think that a lot of times when I'm doing podcasts, they say that the first time on that set
Right.
was magical.
Right.
How was your first movie set experience?
We'll come to that question, but first I do want to address the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
This another thought that I had, which will lead to this. So this is there is this age-old narrative, right? That which is prevalent all over. This narrative is pervasive everywhere. That especially in Bollywood, that actresses who achieve superstardom in their youth, in the prime of their youth, in the early 2000s, then after they pass the prime of the youth, they become irrelevant.
Yeah.
Right? कि entertainment का
Like
जो
the career's over.
हाँ.
Yeah.
I think this thought is outdated. I'll tell you why. And I think people who think that I am irrelevant, I think their thinking is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Because entertainment का जो ये क्षेत्र है, ये पलक झपकते ही बदल रहा है, correct? It changes. Entertainment का जो क्षेत्र है, और उस माहौल में वो मेरा जिक्र अभी चीख चीख कर रहे हैं. वाह क्या ट्रेलर है, वाह क्या प्रोमो है, Malika's comeback before GTA 6. मुझे तो पता भी नहीं क्या है GTA 6. I read it on the internet.
Yeah.
So I think after 20 years ये जिक्र हो रहा है. That is proof है ना, वो अपने आप में एक सबूत है ना,
Of course.
कि ये सोच बदल रही है.
Yeah.
So that I feel really, really good about.
Yeah. And it's changing, especially the role of women in cinema and
Right.
Bollywood, especially with OTT, right?
Yes.
It's such a leveler
Right.
in that context.
Absolutely.
That if you're talented, people will watch you.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be age bound. It doesn't
Right.
have to be, oh, you were a star pre-marriage, you're not a star post-marriage.
Yeah.
All those different stereotypes that
Right.
are attached.
Yeah, but I'm looking, you see, big studios say कि हर 7 साल में generation change होती है. I am looking at a span of 20 years.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's been 20 years. And the director of my upcoming film, Vicky Vidya ka wo wala video, he tells me he wrote this part for me.
Wow.
So after 20 years, directors are writing a part for me.
Yeah. That says something.
That says something.
Yeah. 100%.
So I always like to say मैं थी, मैं हूँ और मैं रहूँगी.
So talk to me about becoming an actress, which you were obviously living your dream.
Yes.
And a dream that most people thought will not manifest because जब भी आपने बताया right कि अच्छे घर की लड़कियाँ फिल्मों में काम नहीं करती.
Right.
So how was it when you became an actress?
It was not so easy actually to be in front of the camera in the beginning because I was very self-conscious in the beginning. It takes a while to shed your inhibitions.
So what were you conscious about?
I was really conscious about how I move, also how I speak, the dialogue delivery. There is a lot of work
Of
that
course.
goes into
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. So that had to be gotten rid of. But I had done amateur theatre at the time. it was a good experience overall. And then, of course, I got Murder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A defining
Right.
like
Yes.
moment, obviously, and
Yes.
just in terms of everything, right? It broke the shackles of the perception of what a lead heroine can do.
Right.
So, yeah, let's talk about Murder. How was the experience, and what was the reaction? You had mixed reactions, obviously, but
Right.
what do you remember the most from that time?
That I achieved superstardom with Murder.
Yeah.
That's what life completely changed. So if I was to look back, there was a life I had before Murder, and there's a life after Murder. I mean, of course, every coin has two sides. Overnight, I feel like I became a fallen woman with no morals and a star overnight. It happened.
Both happened at the
Both
same
happened
time.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel that for a film to, आज 20 साल बाद भी उस फिल्म की चर्चा हो रही है. 20 साल बाद भी कहो ना कहो और भीगे होठ गाने हर जगह हर क्लब में अभी भी बज रहे हैं. So I feel that the film really resonated with a certain section of the Indian population.
Yeah.
And I feel it really resonated with women. You know, जो फिल्म की थीम थी कि एक शादीशुदा औरत का जो अकेलापन है, जो वो महसूस करती है, that really hit home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because and it was not a spoken about concept back then.
Exactly. Yeah. So it broke a lot of stereotypes that way. And also before that, I think the leading ladies of Bollywood had a code of conduct. You're not supposed to say certain things. I think they were more like femme enfant.
Correct.
Like this innocent child woman. And with Murder, I think we introduced a desi femme fatale.
Yeah.
That it's okay to have desires and passion. It happens that people get involved in relationship outside marriage.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. It's a reality of our society.
Correct.
And that is what was shown very, very, I feel, at the time, realistically.
Yeah. So there's a question I had for you.
Okay.
Was there ever a doubt that should I do these scenes or should I not do these scenes during Murder? Or were you always convinced that I'm going to do it?
I've never had any doubt. See, मैंने तो अपने आप को भट्ट साहब के हाथों में सौंप दिया था. I loved the script and I really trusted him. And I mean, how else would you show passion on screen, really?
Yeah.
You know, the film was about this passionate love affair. Not about, but it was a big part of the film. How else would you show it?
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, aren't we tired of seeing flowers blooming in the name of passion and birds flying? I mean, come on, let's see some realism.
Yeah.
Yeah. And मैं तो घर से भाग के आई थी, I had nothing to lose. So I was like, let's do it, let's go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the reaction? Were your family when they saw the film? Is it something that you all discussed?
No, I didn't speak with them about it. I doubt even if they saw the film. I don't think they saw the film.
Didn't see.
No.
Yeah. So did that kind of have an impact on you, or you?
Nothing. I was on cloud 9. I was living my life, having the time of my life, living a dream. I mean, we are a country of over a billion, right? Maybe more.
Yeah.
Much more, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And how many girls, especially coming from the north of India, from the traditional regressive environment, get to do a film which is such a huge, stupendous hit.
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
and like almost like a cult, because I mean the songs especially, everything is so like timeless. You still listen to it.
So I was really not focusing on other things. People are having issues. If they have issues, well, it's their problem.
Yeah.
They have to deal with it.
So how did life change after Murder?
Economic independence changed everything. Confidence bhi bahut aa gaya. And I started working regularly, you know. I realized that, okay, I can... You know, usually यही सिखाया जाता है ना लड़कियों को कि it's not safe to be out in the world on your own. You need a male companion. या तो father हो या husband हो, उन्हीं की छत्र छाया में you can flourish and stuff like that. So all that was shattered, and I realized I'm enough. I can go out in the world on my own and do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did something along the lines of how do I strike that balance where I portrayed this on camera,
right?
But this is like, did you want to draw a line between the real you and who you portrayed on camera?
See, सबको लगता है कि ये life actresses की बहुत glamorous है, correct? you look glamorous on screen, you do these sort of bold things, but the reality is very different. The reality is कि हम लोग glamour बेचते हैं, but the life is not like that. Reality is completely different. Reality, the glamour is only on screen or on red carpets or in magazine covers. In reality, when you're on set working, it's mazduri. That's what it's all about. You know, there are 100 people on the set, and there is no. You just focused on your work.
Yeah.
And ऐसा नहीं है कि जो आप पर्दे पे कर रहे हैं वो आप अपनी निजी जिंदगी में भी कर रहे हैं, in your private life also.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like the example I gave, the hero is killing the villain, shooting him 20 times. It doesn't mean in his real life also.
Yeah.
He's shooting people 20 times. So
it's a perception shift.
It's a perception shift, yeah.
Yeah. You did a lot of work after Murder.
Right.
And very popular again, right? You were establishing yourself as an actor who can do multiple roles from
Right.
Murder. How were you kind of molding yourself to move as an actor?
I love comedy.
Okay.
I really love doing comedy. And I think Welcome gave me such a great chance. It was a great opportunity to show some comic skills. Plus, I had great director Anees Bazmi and Nana Patekar and Anil Kapoor. With them, the comic timing was
incredible.
Like incredible. Yeah. So, and after that, Pyar Ke Side Effects happened, which was again a romantic comedy.
Yeah.
So, I really got an opportunity to show my talent as a comic actor. But let me tell you, it's not easy. Comedy is really
it's the hardest genre.
Really
to land a joke. Yeah.
It is really tough.
My aunt is a comedian.
Okay.
So I know the kind of like preparation that goes into like performing comedy. It's really hard to get people to laugh. So yeah, totally get that. How did you decide to pivot, right? Because you made this move and started doing a lot of work. Like you started moving towards the Hollywood side, which is also something that people spoke a lot about, right? Like, why is the shift happening?
Right.
So why was the shift happening?
Because I just wanted to experience a different culture. I thought, नहीं तो क्या है ना, जैसे कुएं के मेंढक होते हैं. I thought that Bollywood had become like that for me. I wanted to see a different perspective, get out of this get out of this bubble. Bollywood is really a bubble, you know.
Yeah.
I wanted to get out of it. I wanted to experience a new culture, a new life. And I'm glad I did it.
Yeah.
I went abroad for the post-production of Hiss because I produced the film. And while I was there, I was like, okay, it's not a bad idea to try this, to live here for a while. And if I don't do it now, when will I do it?
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I did it. It gave me a new perspective on life. I made some fantastic friends. So that's how it happened. And I was like, but Bollywood's not going to run away. It's still going to be there, right?
As it is right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
what do you mean by Bollywood bubble?
Bollywood bubble, I mean, you know, you're always, it's like your work environment, right? The same directors, producers, and I was not at the time also, to be honest, getting great roles. Because वो वक्त ही ऐसा नहीं था, वो दौर ही ऐसा नहीं था जहाँ ऐसे किरदार लिखे जा रहे थे अभिनेत्रियों के लिए. See, also you have to realize that उस वक्त का दौर मेरे लिए तैयार नहीं था. The culture was not ready for me. आज का जो दौर है, वो अब जाके वहाँ पहुँचा है जहाँ मैं 2004 में खड़ी थी.
Yeah.
और डंके की चोट पे कहा था कि we've used erotica for box office. Like very honestly, we said it. That's you know, box office is what? It's stimulation, right? So that's what. So I wanted a break from that because the roles that were all coming were not really that excited me. I got a Welcome, I got a Pyar Ke Side Effects, but after that, nothing really excited me, and that also kind of propelled my decision to move.
Yeah. Was it?
But I never really left India forever.
It's a pivot. It was a pivot in terms
coming and going, and I started doing good work there.
Yeah.
You know, I did Politics of Love.
Yeah.
I did a few music videos, one with Bruno Mars.
Mars, yeah,
It was great fun. Just great fun working in a different culture.
Yeah. And how was life there, right? In terms of friends and how you, because the way people live in India is a very distinct way, right? And it's a shift when you move abroad. How was life like in LA? Like, were you the same excitement that when you came to Bombay?
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say what I personally really enjoyed was the social freedom that women have there. Like, there are no judgments on a woman at all. And another thing I realized was that Western society, they embrace pleasure. They do a lot of things what gives them pleasure, right? And in India, we are made to feel, at least I was made to feel guilty about any sort of pleasure. We shun pleasure as a society, especially women. We are taught to sacrifice. Self-sacrifice is very noble. But we are never taught that doing things which pleasure you is also very noble. So that I really enjoyed out there. And of course, I was meeting other actors. I was doing theatre.
So even work-wise, it was stimulating.
It was.
What is some of the things that?
And of course, Jackie Chan really helped me.
Yeah.
I had a big support in him. He was there.
So
being with him also opened a lot of doors.
Of course.
For me.
So what was the difference, right? Like you said that you were made to feel guilty here about taking some pleasure seriously as opposed to there. Give me a couple of examples.
You know, the example is like I always prioritize feeling good. For me, doing yoga feels good, working out feels good, money feels good, success feels good. Right? But here, now I prioritize it. But here, if you're working, if a woman is working, you're neglecting the family, right? You're neglecting your child, you're neglecting your husband, you're neglecting your kitchen. So the guilt angle starts. This is a big difference I find. And the whole system is set up, I feel, against women in this society. ऐसा नहीं है कि विदेश में नहीं है, वहाँ भी, of course, I'm sure it's there, but it's much less.
So when you talk about these things, right, like say family or relationships, like one of the questions I get asked the most is, when are you getting married?
Oh my God,
And I get that question very often, and I actually said this in a TED talk that I've interviewed the highest office in the country. I've interviewed our Prime Minister. But the question I get asked the most is, when are you getting married? So
let me ask you, when are you getting married?
See, exactly. So it's very unbecoming, right, for women to have a career and not think of the family, which I constantly face. I'm here. I've been here for my whole career. How did you tackle the question?
I mean, I think people have really stopped asking me that.
Now.
See, another thing is after you study philosophy now, you mentally become very strong, because philosophy and all these great philosophers like Vivekananda, Yogananda, they give you mental tools to deal with pressure. I'm from Haryana, so the Jat brain is there. You can say what you want. No one can put pressure on me to do anything. If I don't want to do something, I won't do it. And now I just don't encourage this sort of conversation.
What about in the nascent time of your career, where the question would have been a lot more, right? Like gradually people obviously get fed up and are like,
no, actually, Tabbi, the question wasn't a lot more, because after doing murder and all those bold scenes, which man is going to get married to me? Indian men have this, I think it's a very eroticized wound, I feel, that they want a pure woman. They want a woman who's untouched. Of course. See, India is not Bombay. Bombay is very, very cosmopolitan. Real India is in small town and small villages.
Correct.
Have you ever interviewed any of the men from there?
Of course.
Exactly. Ask them what kind of wife they want, what are their thoughts. They want very pure.
So that was not a question.
I was out of the marriage market long ago.
So marriage was not a question, really.
I was damaged goods completely.
But is it something that you saw for yourself?
You know,
in terms of
I
love?
don't give it much importance, really. I'm indifferent to it. I
Okay.
really am indifferent to it.
Yeah. So if it happens, it happens. If it
Right.
doesn't,
If
it
it
doesn't.
doesn't, it
So
doesn't.
that's
Yeah,
the kind of
really that is. And I'm sure, I mean, what about you?
yeah, exactly.
also
Right.
like that,
yeah, like
right?
there's no good. So there's a lot of pressure on women, and I've seen it in many circles to settle down
Right.
at the right
Like,
time.
what is settling down? To me, when you have a great career
Hmm.
and you're economically independent,
Hmm.
that is settling down.
Yeah.
And then you can make an informed decision about whether you want to get married or not get married.
Hmm. Yeah. What is your take on love generally outside of the marriage box? What should love be?
I love love.
Yeah.
It's compatibility.
Yeah.
It's having mutual respect for each other, and it's not having bad breath.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And is that something that in your life when you experience? How are you when you're in that phase in life?
I mean, it's wonderful. I feel to be in love when we are in love, our hormones are going wild. We are,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
feel good about everything.
Yeah, everything feels happy.
Everything
and good.
feels happy, and
Yeah.
we take better care. We dress better.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
We want to smell good. We want
Yeah.
to look good. It's such a natural.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling to be in love.
Yeah.
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 आपको अगर मेरे लिए कोई मिले तो हो सकता है ये
Please, how has this happened?
ये पॉडकास्ट के थ्रू दिस इज अ मैसेज कोई दूल्हा एलिजिबल बैचलर हो तो आई एम सिंगल एंड आई एम रेडी टू मिंगल
Amazing. We must put this out there and say,
Please do.
all the applications you can send it to the
अपने
email ID.
रेज्यूमे भेजिए प्लीज
What are you doing in life? And how are you feeling about everything that's happening with the new film? You've been getting packed left, right, and center, looking amazing, and
थैंक यू
it just feels like very natural, right? Like to
Right.
you especially. Like when you're in front of the camera, it's like you're
I
meant to be there.
I really enjoy it. See, जिसने भी बॉलीवुड में लंबी इनिंग्स खेली है ना,
Hmm.
एंड यू कैन आस्क दिस फ्रॉम एनीबॉडी, इतने उतार चढ़ाव आते हैं, इतनी चीज़ों को झेलना पड़ता है, एंड फिर अगले दिन फिर से स्माइल करो.
Hmm.
इट्स नॉट ईजी. लोग एक वीकेंड सर्वाइव नहीं कर सकते बॉलीवुड में. इट्स डिफिकल्ट टू सर्वाइव इवन फॉर अ वीकेंड, एंड आई हैव सर्वाइव्ड ओवर 20 years.
Yeah.
So, just to put things in perspective.
Yeah. So it's the duration is really what sets.
And
The-
also, I feel that I was really lucky that I was able to make a small space for myself in the beginning of the century. Because if you see the newcomers today,
Hmm.
आज के newcomers को एक अजीब सी headwind का सामना करना पड़ रहा है, in the sense that whatever film releases today, आज कोई भी film release होती है, 2 हफ्ते बाद उसका नामो निशान मिट जाता है. People don't remember. I feel that there is an assault on the memory today because
attention span itna
इतना
kam hai.
बहुत it's with time poverty I call it. Tsunami की तरह content आता है हमारे
Hmm.
पास बगैर कुछ करे, right?
Hmm.
It's coming from all over the world. It's
Yeah.
coming to us
And it's unlimited.
unlimited, and there is visual snacking going on almost
Hmm.
every hour.
Hmm.
So लोगों की भूख लोगों की इतनी बढ़ती ही नहीं कि कोई फिल्म उन्हें मजबूर करे that okay, go to the theater, buy the tickets and watch a movie. They are happy. वो अपनी रील्स देख के ही संतुष्ट हैं बहुत. They are happy with that.
Yeah.
So हाँ, लेकिन अगर आपके पास मलिका शरावत है फिल्म में तो आप जाएंगे. So I feel that the newcomers are really facing that today, and that is really tough.
Yeah. So like you said that you've seen Bollywood for 20 years now.
Right.
How do you think it's changed? Because you obviously set the trend in motion for a lot of female-centric roles to blossom, right, in the
Right.
years to come, which has happened now.
Thank you.
Like if a murder released today, it would not be the same reaction as when a
Right.
murder released 20 years ago.
Agreed.
So how do you think Bollywood has evolved?
I think traditional Bollywood hasn't evolved.
Okay.
Traditional Bollywood is still very, very formulaic.
Okay.
Hero hai, heroine hai, whatever. It's very formulaic, right? But like you said, OTT, the streaming platforms, that have
It's been a level
it's been a game changer.
Yeah.
I feel, especially for actresses, that today you have a Delhi Crime,
Yeah.
and Shefali Shah shines in it, right?
Amazing.
And and the lots more other examples also like that.
Yeah.
So OTT streaming platforms, they are a game changer according to me, and I think it's a fantastic time to be a woman
Yeah.
right now. It's a great time to be an actress right now.
Yeah.
But finally, it's being appreciated.
Hmm. Yeah.
Actresses are, and older actresses are being appreciated.
Yeah. Like Vidya Balan,
Oh, I love
Rani
her.
Mukherjee. I think that they're
Absolutely.
just extremely, like, even the films that they carry have
Hmm.
so much
So
weight.
much.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like I saw Lapata Ladies.
Yeah.
Really
it is
enjoyed it.
amazing.
Yeah.
Razi, for example, which
Right.
again, it was just such a beautiful film and
Huh.
carried on on the weight of a woman, right?
Exactly.
So that's one aspect of roles. What about the way a woman is perceived? Again,
Right.
you were at a stage where it was very different. You were like way ahead of your time, and
Yeah, but I was perceived like an object only.
yeah. And how is that today?
I think Jada, see, I'll tell you something. ऊपर से बहुत चेंज आया है. लोग दिखाते हैं कि चेंज आया है. But it's your mentality that has to change towards women. And I don't think that has changed much. Again, we live in this bubble called Bombay and in South Bombay. I'm sure it has changed. You know, South Bombay is very cool. This part of Bombay is very cool. But this is not real India.
Yeah.
So real India में बदलाव इतना महिलाओं के प्रति नहीं आया है. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, and it's really sad because I really believe India as a country really cannot realize its full potential
Without its women.
till its women get the same opportunities as men. And men have to be a part of the solution. This conversation about feminism and everything, it's not about hating men at all.
Yeah.
They have to be a part of the solution.
Yeah, yeah. It's not an isolated process
No.
because unless the perception changes both ways,
Exactly.
it won't change.
Yes.
In that context.
Yes.
So when we look at the evolution of the female, the heroine in films, what do you feel proudest of? Because you were, like I said, at the beginning juncture of that change, right? In the early 2000s. What are you proudest of today when you see these great characters?
See, what I can only speak for myself personally. What I'm really proudest of is that I live life on my own terms. I can pay my bills. I can take care of myself.
Yeah.
So that is what I'm really, really proud of.
Yeah.
And I think every woman who can do that should be very, very proud. Yeah. Because it's a big thing.
Yeah.
We can't trivialize it. It is a big thing.
Yeah.
To live life on your own terms and not to let society pressure bog you down, parental pressure bog you down, and just to pay your own bills and take care of yourself. Your self-worth really gets established, I feel, once you start doing that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Let's take a jog down the memory lane. What is a fan encounter that you remember from the time Murder released that you still remember and think about, or that you still just remember?
I think at the Cannes Film Festival, I really remember it because it was my first. I had gone with Jackie Chan to promote The Myth. It was my first red carpet, and it was a very low-cut choli and ghagra, and I was so nervous. I told Jackie, should I wear it? And he said, of course, go for it, wear it. Oh my God, that was like, okay, I'm going to wear it. Anyway, so when I went out, I was in a foreign land. I didn't expect so many Indians to be there.
Yeah.
And I'm talking 20 years ago,
yeah.
right? And I'm walking, I clearly remember on the Crozet, I'm walking out and I have all these young boys, I don't know where they materialized from, standing with roses and, they were so nice and they were like, I looked at them questioningly, like, am I okay? Is everything okay? And they were like, हम हैं आपके साथ, हम संभाल लेंगे. They were so cute.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
Very young boys.
Yeah, very
That
sweet.
really stands out for me because it was in a foreign country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have that
The reassurance.
Outside. Yeah, the reassurance. Yeah. What about within Bollywood and the industry? Any compliments that you remember from the time?
I mean, compliments, all women enjoy compliments, right?
yeah.
We love compliments. So a lot of compliments come. But I enjoy compliments when people compliment me. अरे इसमें आपने बहुत अच्छा काम किया है.
Yeah.
अरे आप तो वैसे ही दिख रही हैं आजकल. जैसे 20 साल पहले आप मर्डर में दिखती थी. कमाल है.
Yeah.
You know, how do you do this? I really enjoy that because I work very hard. I lead a very disciplined life, contrary to the image on screen. You know, I don't drink alcohol. I
Okay.
don't smoke. I'm a vegetarian. I'm a vegan.
Yeah.
I go to bed early. You will never see me at any filmy party, Bollywood party.
Yeah.
And I feel all that translates on the way you
The way you look. Yeah.
It'll translate into how hard you're working in the gym, into how good your body is.
Correct.
So I love when I get those compliments, when
Yeah.
people notice.
Yeah.
And especially in this toxic beauty industry today, right? Where it's very tragic, but so many young girls are also getting Botox and fillers. I mean,
It's very common.
it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Because when I was starting out in the early 2000s, it wasn't even talked about. There was no Botox and no fillers and no plastic surgery.
Yeah.
And today, like you tell me, it's become so common. There
Yeah.
is no need. And I feel especially for an actress, अगर आपका चेहरा ही फ्रीज हो जाएगा तो आप एक्सप्रेशंस कैसे देंगे? The
Yeah.
whole job of an actor is to emote,
Correct. Yeah.
to express.
Yeah. And talk to me about Mahesh Bhatt's role in this entire journey.
He's my mentor.
Yeah.
And he's had a huge hand in shaping my thinking. He gave me one of the biggest hits of my career.
Yeah.
I almost have reverence for him. Is in very, very high regard. I only have great things to say about him, and I'm so glad that I got an opportunity to work with him. He's a maestro. Look at we all grew up watching his films.
Yeah.
Saransh,
Yeah.
Daddy, Earth, masterpieces.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to actually work with him, I just love being around him
Yeah.
and just talking to him.
Yeah.
He's unique.
Yeah.
I really feel he's unique. Yeah.
Yeah, you get that image and that perception. He's just thinking on a different
Absolutely.
plane.
He's a real philosopher.
Yeah.
And a feminist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it seems like there's this amazing energy, and you have this amazing energy about you, and all of the things that you speak about are very upbeat and like you said, right, like that you want to change that perception and you're living life on your own terms. What about the lows? When have you experienced feeling low, or when a particular time in your life where it was a difficult period, and how do you cope with those?
I think I used to. Now I don't have a lot of lows because one learns, like I say, वक्त के रेगिस्तान से गुजरे हैं. So that experience teaches you a lot.
Yeah.
But before, if a film would flop, I would have a lot of lows. Some actresses would be condescending towards me, and they would say mean things to me on my face. And that would really hurt me, and I would go crying to Bhatt Saab. They were the lows then, but now no. Now through my philosophical background, I focus on what's working for me, what's positive for me.
Yeah.
I really focus on that. Anything negative, I don't focus on at all.
Just don't give it energy.
No.
Yeah. So, when you talk about the fact that, sometimes actresses have said things to you, what do you think the role of women needs to be to uplift other women? Because I often find this, that sometimes the negativity towards women comes from other women, which always surprises me.
It's not sometimes, it's most of the time.
Yeah, so
Yes.
it happens. So what do you think that...
I believe in the sisterhood. I believe in the sisterhood. I love women. I believe in uplifting them, supporting them. But you're absolutely right. Like there is this video of mine that went viral on social media where there is some press conference and you hear a female reporter attacking me for calling Indian society regressive for women. And my answer to her is that with so many gang rapes and female feticide and honor killings, you think it's very progressive for women? I mean, it is regressive for women, right? But you see a female attacking me for this instead of supporting me, and I think it's patriarchal conditioning. That's how they're raised, that's how they're brought up. It's patriarchal conditioning that we have to all come out of.
Yeah. And what is it that's driving you now in over the next, say, 5 years? What is it that you...
इतना मैं सोचती नहीं आगे 5 years what's going to happen.
Let's do near future.
Right now 11th October my film is releasing.
So that's
really yeah, it's a great part. I really enjoyed shooting for the
How
film.
was it on set with Rajkumar and Tripti Dimri? Talk to me a little bit about
They were great. They were wonderful. But I really enjoyed working with Vijay Raz.
Oh
my God. Working with him was just so much fun.
Yeah.
And with Raj Chandelier, he's a very, very fine writer. He's a great director. I really enjoyed the whole process and the whole team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you think is the best part of the film?
Malika Sherawat is the best part of the film.
Please go watch it.
I can excite, I can provoke, and I can entertain.
All three. So please go watch it.
Please watch. I don't even have to say please watch it. Itni funny film hai na, and I personally love comedies. People are going to go and watch it and love it. And the nice thing is, like Raj keeps on saying, पारिवारिक film है. सबको बोलो पारिवारिक film है. अरे मुझे तो बहुत मुश्किल से मिलती है पारिवारिक film. पारिवारिक film ही है.
Okay, so we're down to this section, which is things about you that we couldn't find on Google. So like you know that there's so much on Google.
Right.
So we're going to actually ask the questions and hopefully there's correct information out there. Okay. Who's your biggest inspiration?
Vivekananda, Yogananda, both of them.
Okay. Your guilty pleasure movie?
I love Pretty Woman.
Yeah. Oh my God.
All girls love it, right? It's such a... we're all such hopeless romantics. We all want to watch it again and again.
Yeah.
Plus, Richard Gere looks so handsome in it.
100%.
Just for him, right?
Yeah. Your favorite cheat meal?
I don't have cheat meals.
At all?
At all.
Oh, wow. Okay. What's the most bizarre rumor you've heard about yourself?
Oh my God, there are so many.
The most bizarre?
There are so many weird ones. One is that I have a child. The other one is Rolls-Royce refused to give a car to me, to sell a car to me.
Your biggest fear?
I don't focus on fears.
Not at all.
I don't even talk about them. I don't give it much attention. No.
Yeah. An unknown skill of yours? Like, what are you good at that people don't know about?
I love to vegetate.
Yeah, you can just sit and do nothing.
I can just sit and do nothing and I love it.
Okay, that's a good skill.
Yeah.
Okay, we're down to the last question. It's been an amazing journey and you've, like you said, you've had highs and lows, but you learned to deal with the lows better.
Right.
You have this amazing, refreshing perspective on feminism and how to take control of your own life. So what advice would you give the people who are watching and women especially who are watching?
Well, to the women who are watching, I would love to give this advice that always follow your dreams and be economically independent. Have your own bank account, have your own checkbook in your hand, in your name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you also said this one thing, which I will end with, that you're waiting for a man to have more balls than you to settle down.
Way long ago. My God. Yeah, that was way long ago. I'm not waiting for anybody right now.
Not waiting at all.
No.
So on that note, what advice would you give people who are watching?
I would just say that just have fun. This life, it is such a gift. We are so lucky, just really enjoy life. Enjoy every moment. Nichod ke jiyo. Like, get everything out of life.
Okay. Amazing. Thank you so much. It's been lovely. And good luck for the film and excited to watch you. I'm going to go watch it.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you like this episode, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon. Thank you all for being the best community and I'll see you soon.